Winter road, the mountains call. Cabin stands where shadows fall. Fire burns, the stories creep. Something wakes while we should sleep.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my dollhouse. I'm Osakachan.doll, and I am very happy to have you here today. Your presence truly means the world to me, and I'm absolutely thrilled to share this adventure with you. Before we jump into today's video, I'd like to take a moment to ask for your support. If you enjoy my content, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps me to keep creating exciting, high-quality content just for you. And don't forget to click that notification bell. That way, you'll always be the first to know when fresh, fun content drops. Looking for stylish, playful, and unique merch? Osaka Doll Merch has you covered. Check out the exclusive designs and accessories in the link below. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing community. Now, let's dive right in and get started. Today I will be telling you a short story that came from Doll called The Evil Eye. With that being said, let us begin. Chapter 1, The Invitation. Winter break in the city was the kind of cold that didn't sting your skin so much as seep into your clothes and stay there. I was 14 when my uncle called. Fumihiro, you free for a few days? His tone was casual, but his pauses were just a little too long. Yeah, why? Got a spot open. My cabin up in Nen Prefecture. Was gonna go with my girlfriend, but he hesitated, and I heard a faint laugh that didn't reach his voice. Let's just say plans changed. We'd always been close. My parents worked late, so he'd often step in movies, fishing trips, late-night gaming. He was stylish, confident, the kind of adult who could tell a story about anything. The morning we left, his black sedan pulled up outside, exhaust curling into the pale winter air. Hop in, kiddo, he said with a grin. The drive out of the city was smooth at first, but as the suburbs gave way to long stretches of trees, he got quieter. Every now and then, when we passed a patch of dense woods, I'd catch him glancing toward the tree line, then quickly back to the road. By the time we reached the mountain region, the sun was already tilting toward the horizon. We stopped at a small supermarket in a half-empty town. The automatic doors slid open with a slow sigh. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. A woman stocking shelves looked up and froze, not curious but wary, like we didn't belong. At the register, the cashier scanned our beef, chips, vegetables, and a cheap bottle of sake without a word. He didn't meet our eyes. His hands shook slightly. Back in the car, I said, people here seem weird. My uncle kept his eyes on the road. Small towns, he said. They don't like outsiders. Chapter 2, Uncle's Cabin. The road to the cabin twisted up the mountainside like a snake. The asphalt dusted with frost. Our headlights picked out sudden flashes of movement in the trees. Rabbits maybe, or not. When we reached it, the cabin seemed to grow out of the forest, small, wooden, swallowed by dark pines. A few other cabins dotted the slope below, but their windows were dark. We unpacked, started dinner, charcoal barbecue in the yard. The hiss of meat, the crack of burning wood, the smoke mixing with the cold, it felt too perfect, like something was trying to put me at ease. While I turned skewers, I caught a flicker of movement up the slope. Someone slipping between trees. I looked again. Nothing. Later inside, the fire popped in the hearth. My uncle had set up old game consoles, PlayStation, Super Famicom, the original Famicom, and we played for hours. At one point, he put on an adult video, smirking at my reaction. Eventually, the games gave way to ghost stories. His voice dropped lower, the firelight cutting shadows across his face. Then, like it had just come to him, he said, "Never go into the mountain behind this cabin." I laughed. Why? Looking at me, he speaks. The locals stay away. Sure, there's Matsutake up there, but a guy who owned a cabin nearby was found hanging in those woods. No one's gone back since. Suddenly the wind shoved against the windows, causing the window glass to shake. Chapter 3: The Telescope. I woke to sunlight stabbing through the curtains. My throat was dry. My uncle was still asleep, snoring under a heavy blanket. Outside, the air bit my lungs. From the balcony, the view stretched toward the back mountain. The snow-dusted trees, a slope of untouched white, perfectly ordinary, and yet I thought I saw something shift in the tree line. When I blinked, it was gone. That's when I noticed the telescope in the corner, heavy and expensive. Carefully, I dragged it outside. Through the lens, everything sharpened. Frost on branches, rooftops in the town below like paper cutouts. Then I saw movement. A figure. It was bald, completely naked despite the cold, slowly swaying. It had a rusted sickle hanging from one hand. Its back was to me. The movement was deliberate, strange, like those Sankai Juku dancers my teacher once showed us. Every instinct told me to stop looking. Instead, I zoomed in. The pale head began to turn. It had a face, almost human but with no eyebrows, and in the middle of the forehead, a single vertical eye. It locked onto me. Its mouth stretched into a grin. Ah! It let out the most awful, loudest scream I had ever heard. The despair hit instantly. My chest hollowed, my eyes stung, and I wanted to die. The balcony door slammed open. It was my uncle. In a panicked state, he yells out to me, "What happened?" I pointed at the telescope. "Look," he did. A choked sound came out of him, half sob, half groan. His hands went to his head. "What is that?" I yelled. He whispered, "It's the evil eye." Chapter 4: The Rule of Dark Glasses. "Evil eye," I repeated. The words felt cold in my mouth. His face had gone pale. "Hurry, go to the desk in my office. In the top drawer, there are 2 pairs of sunglasses. Get them, go." I ran as fast as I could without tripping. The drawer stuck before sliding open with a dry scrape. Inside, 2 heavy dark lens sunglasses wrapped in a cloth that smelled faintly of incense. Back on the balcony, he shoved a pair into my hands. "Put them on." The world dulled. The figure across the slope blurred, but the vertical eye still speared through the glass. It didn't blink, it swayed, always facing us. "It's moving," I whispered. "It was always going to," he said flatly. "We just noticed late." He glanced toward the kitchen. "You need to pee?" "What? Seriously?" "2 bottles. Fill one if you have to." He disappeared downstairs, came back with a plastic bottle sloshing yellow. "If you go later, use the other." I couldn't decide which was worse, that he'd done it, or that his hands were still shaking. "What is that thing?" I asked. He didn't look at me. "It's not human, not a ghost either, and it hates unclean things." A soft thump sounded somewhere in the cabin. Could have been a plank settling, or a footstep. "Keep the glasses on," he said. "Whatever happens, don't look at it straight." Outside, the wind pushed a curtain of dry needles across the snow. The eye didn't flicker. Chapter 5: The Walk We Shouldn't Have Taken. We packed like people about to do something stupid, taking with us the 2 sunglasses, the 2 bottles, one full, one empty, snacks, binoculars, a dented wooden bat, a stainless flashlight with a knurled grip. On impulse, my uncle grabbed a lighter and a coil of cheap incense from the sunglasses drawer. "Why not just drive out of here?" I asked at the door. "If it's following us, the car won't matter," he said. "Distance won't save us. Boredom might, so we make it bored." I questioned him. "Or disgusted." He tried for a smile. It didn't fit his face. We stepped into the back mountain. The air felt wrong immediately. Snow didn't crunch. It sighed. The trees seemed too focused, like they were listening. Somewhere far away, wood creaked, but not in a way the wind could explain. "Stay right behind me," my uncle said. "Don't wander." After maybe 500 meters, we reached a bald patch where old trees had fallen years ago. The light had gone gray, and the cold was sharp enough to feel personal. "We wait here," he said, kneeling with the bat and quietly checking the flashlight's battery. "If it comes close, Don't look straight at it, just the edges. How close is close? I ask. Closer than we want. Something popped inside my ear, like pressure on an airplane. My scalp prickled. The air smelled of pine, rust, and faint rot. You hear that? I said. Hear what? It sounded like words, not in any language I knew. Mangled syllables, swallowed wrong. They came from everywhere at once, then nowhere. If you hear your name, my uncle said lightly, don't answer, even if it sounds like me. That's not helping. Good. Stay scared, my uncle said seriously. Chapter 6: The Hour That Vanished. Time didn't just drag, it bent. One moment, the light was flat gray. The next, it was darker, as if we'd skipped ahead. My lashes stuck together in a long blink, and when I opened them, my uncle's watch read 5:27 a.m. Big bro, wake up, whispered a voice right behind my ear. It was my dead brother's voice. I spun around. It was nothing but trees. Big bro, if you don't wake up, you're gonna die. The words stretched, like someone pulling a wire until it almost snapped. I grabbed my uncle's shoulder and shook him. He jolted awake, eyes focusing fast. How long was I asleep for? He asked. Too long, I replied. The forest answered before I could say anything else. It began like a woman humming in another room. Then the melody warped, notes sliding wrong, skipping over keys that didn't exist. It wasn't a song you could hum back. It was the kind that made you want to cover your ears. When you see it, my uncle said, aim the light at its feet, not the face. You understand? Never the face. The snow began to tremble under us. A twig snapped twice, out of sequence. The song grew closer. Chapter 7: The Crawling. Fumihiro. Now, my uncle yelled. I flicked on the flashlight. The beam spilled across the snow, bone white. The light caught ankles first, pale, hairless, dirt-crusted where skin had touched the ground. Then shins, knees. The way it walked was wrong. Each step borrowed from someone else's memory of walking. Above the legs, the rib cage moved out of sync, like waves hitting a pier. Edge of your vision, my uncle hissed. Don't look dead on. I tried. Then it dropped to all fours. Its head dipped into the beam like testing water. The vertical eye flashed a clean slit of brightness. The mouth stretched too wide, too sweet and empty. I looked. It was like someone issued a command directly into my brain. Die. Not fear, not sadness, just an absolute instruction. The light wavered, skittered up its body. Its skin shone like overhandled wax, frost catching on the bald scalp. My uncle was sobbing his ex's name, Himeko. He starts tipping the bottle, but the liquid only dribbled onto the snow, steaming. The song twisted into laughter without changing its pitch. Chapter 8: What Filth Can Do. Ring, ring, a cell phone ring, bright, banal, obscene in that place, burst from my uncle's pocket. He froze, blinked at the screen like he'd forgotten what a screen was. What are you doing? I croaked. We're going to, he roared. It was a sound that didn't belong to him, torn from someplace older. He seized the flashlight and hauled me by my coat. Shut your eyes, Fumihiro, he barked through his teeth. Shut them. He then shoved the full bottle into his own mouth like a canteen, cheeks ballooning. I obeyed. The world went hot behind my lids, then icy, a hiss, a wet cloud, a noise like a horse screaming into a pipe, a stench that was not just urine, but something newer and crueler, as if the mountain itself found the mixture offensive. He hit it again, and again, short bursts, a fine spray that turned to glitter in the light before it struck. The song broke. The melody convulsed and reassembled itself inside a mouthful of words I didn't know, spat like curses in an alphabet I couldn't imagine. It won't back off, my uncle said, voice high with panic. Fabric tore, belt clacked, cold air slapped skin. Keep your eyes shut, damn it. Don't look, Fumihiro. I kept my face to the dirt. The beam shifted, bright, then brighter. Then my uncle shouted something raw and simple and naked. My uncle had fully stripped out of rage and the willpower to protect us. The thing answered with a sound of disgust, so perfect it left fingerprints inside my ears. Silence fell in shreds. After what felt like forever, I raised my head in time to see its back. the spine flexed under skin like something trying to remember how to stand upright. It did not stop singing. It turned the song inward, like it sang for itself now, and hobbled into darkness with the slow, stubborn speed of an old man who refuses to be hurried. We held the light on it and didn't breathe. The trees took it back by degrees, first the ankles, then the knees, then the hint of a shoulder, then the thin line of scalp, then nothing, except a ripple in the night that may have been wind at last. Chapter 9: The Locks and the Story. Winds blow lightly through the trees, sending cold air all around us. After a few minutes, my uncle vomited once reality had set in. A few moments later, he got dressed. Back at the cabin, my uncle locked the doors, then the windows, then checked the doors again. We didn't speak until coffee steamed between us. The smell almost felt normal. "Is it gone?" I asked. "Maybe," he said, forcing a smile. "If not, maybe I'm too nasty for it now." We laughed because crying would have been worse. Then he told me a story, not a ghost story, but like he was filing a report. Once during a stay in a certain northern European city, a local friend, also a technician and fluent in several languages, told him, "I've got something interesting to show you." My uncle assumed it was a strip club or something similar. Instead, the man led him down a deserted alley to a small, dingy house. From the outside it looked rundown, but inside was a different world. Thick, ornate carpets, valuable-looking vases and metalwork, and the sweet scent of incense in the air. Still confused, my uncle was taken into a small back room where an older man, maybe in his 60s, sat in the glow of candlelight. Oddly, even indoors at night, the man wore sunglasses. The friend leaned close and said, "He has the evil eye." In many cultures, the evil eye is a superstition, the belief that a malicious gaze can curse its target. It's found all over the world, sometimes called the evil eye, cursed gaze, or demon's eye. In some stories, a victim can fall ill, waste away, even die from it. My uncle listened half amused, thinking this was some kind of con. The old man whispered something to the friend, who explained, "He says you don't believe, he'll give you just a taste of it." The old man whispered again, "From now on, I'll bind you to a chair. Understand, it's only because my power is too strong. You'll thrash about, I'll only meet your gaze for an instant, that's all." My uncle figured the man must have done something to his eyes. Maybe they were horribly disfigured, or he wore strange contact lenses, or perhaps the incense carried some hallucinogenic effect. Being tied up wasn't exactly appealing, but his local friend was someone he trusted completely, so he agreed. They bound him to a chair. The old man approached. The friend turned his back. In silence, the man removed his sunglasses and looked down at my uncle. When I saw him, my uncle said quietly, setting his coffee on the table, "It felt exactly like it did today. The moment our eyes met, I just wanted to die." His pupils were completely ordinary, but it didn't matter. Everything about life, about the world became unbearable in an instant, and it only lasted maybe 1 or 2 seconds. Chapter 10: The Things That Helped. I don't think it was hypnosis or some psychological trick. It was something else. The friend had told him that the man with the evil eye would even kill for money, that local gangs had used him in their feuds. About a week before my uncle returned to Japan, the man had been killed. Rumor was he'd botched a job that humiliated the organization he worked for, so they executed him. They found him tied to a chair in a brothel, the floor smeared with filth and urine. He had snapped the ropes with inhuman force and gouged out both his own eyes before dying. As I said, my uncle continued, the evil eye hates filth. Maybe they smeared him with excrement, maybe forced him to watch some degrading sex act. Who knows? I didn't have the energy to say anything, just listened. So the thing we'd seen was that also a possessor of the evil eye. As if reading my mind, my uncle went on, I don't know if it was really a monster or just a human raised into something like that, but I felt like running wasn't enough. That's why I risked facing it. He continued, you know how they say kappas hate human saliva? Maybe things from that side of the world are more vulnerable to the human body than to charms or prayers. I thought about the dream I'd had, My dead little brother waking me. I told my uncle I thought he might have saved me. I started crying. I told him about hearing my brother's voice. He didn't laugh, he just nodded slowly. Mountains throw pieces of us back sometimes, he said. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it guesses. He held up his phone. When it rang out there, that was my ex. Look, no bars, there hasn't been reception here since these cabins were built. Then how? Maybe it wasn't the phone. Maybe it was something trying to time me just right or wrong. He looked toward the window. Either way, I'm selling this place. Chapter 11, Night Watch. We didn't sleep deep. Every time I closed my eyes, the eye was there, vertical, patient. Once I dreamed I was at the telescope with the lens cap on, and it still stared through. At 3 the kettle clicked. My uncle didn't drink the tea. He set it in the window like an offering. What now? I asked. We survived the night, he said. Leave with the sun. Never look back. The cabin creaked. Far off, a faint melody wove through the wood. My uncle gripped the flashlight. The song didn't come closer. It didn't leave, until I changed my breathing out of spite, and it faded. Chapter 12, Breaking Down the Morning. We left before the sun had fully cleared the ridge. The sky was pearl. The car exhaled white. Every lock clicked behind us like a small benediction. As we loaded the trunk, something yellow and paper-thin fluttered across the yard and stuck to the snow, an old supermarket receipt. My uncle picked it up. Ink bled from moisture, beef, chips, vegetables, sake. On the bottom, in a hand I did not recognize, was a scribble in blue ballpoint. Don't look long. My uncle folded it once and slipped it into his wallet without comment. On the road down, I looked back just once. Reflex, habit, weakness. The cabin sat as we had left it, small against the trees. The slope beyond looked like any other winter mountain, patient and blank. Keep your eyes forward, my uncle said gently. He didn't need to add please. At the first spot on the road where a phone might catch a ghost of signal, his screen lit up. 1 bar, then 2. He scrolled to his ex's name and hovered. Call her, I said. He laughed once, quiet. Yeah, I will. I need to set things right with her, you know. Yes, I know, I replied. Chapter 13, What We Tell Ourselves Later. We didn't tell anyone exactly what happened. We told parts. We sanded edges. The words we chose were safer than the feelings we carried. But when I am honest with myself, this is what remains. Mountains keep things, not just mushrooms and snowmelt and old murders. They keep melodies that don't want to be hummed. They keep eyes that make you unmake yourself. They keep versions of our voices ready to call us from behind the ear, using the shape of our dead. Some of them hate clean things like sunlight, prayer, or logic. Some of them hate unclean things like pee, poop, and the parts of our bodies that look back without blinking. Some will back away when you show them what you are. Some won't. We were lucky. We were filthy enough and foolish enough and brave enough, in some ratio we don't understand, to make it leave. Chapter 14, The Last Look. Sometimes when I close my eyes in bright rooms, I still see the dark lens of the sunglasses and the lighter, thinner vertical slit within it. Sometimes I wake to the ringing of a phone that isn't mine, and my hand reaches for a pocket that isn't there. A month later, my uncle, who was now living with his girlfriend, sent me a picture from the city. The cabin listing was live. The caption read, "Never again." He added, a moment after, "Keep the glasses close." I do, because on certain winter afternoons, when the air over the city is very clear and my balcony plants stand too still, I take the sunglasses from their case and turn them over. The lenses pull the room a half step away from me. The space inside the glass looks deeper than it should. I glance at the window, just a glance, edge of vision, just in case, and in the reflection, far back where the city should be, there's a ripple where nothing should move at all. The room smells faintly of incense and dust. My phone is silent. The snow, wherever it lies today, keeps its counsel. I set the glasses down and look away first. The end. Thank you for watching. I truly hope you enjoyed today's video and found it both fun and insightful. Your support means the world to me, and if you had a great time, I'd love it if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me to keep creating exciting content just for you. Want to be the first to see new videos? Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your engagement, feedback, and encouragement are what keep me going, and I'm so grateful to have you as part of this amazing community. Once again, I'm Osakachan.doll, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care, stay awesome, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey. See you soon.
Winter road, the mountains call. Cabin stands where shadows fall. Fire burns, the stories creep. Something wakes while we should sleep. Don't look, don't meet that eye. It'll drain your soul, it'll make you cry. Keep your head low, keep your gaze away, or the evil eye will make you stay. Naked form in falling snow, sway so slow where cold winds blow. Rusty sickle, song so thin. If you see its face, you won't come back again. Don't look, don't meet that eye. It'll drain your soul, it'll make you cry. Keep your head low, keep your gaze away, or the evil eye will make you stay. Hold your breath, light at its feet to keep from death. Laugh if you can, though you wanna weep. The mountain keeps what the mountain keeps. Don't look, don't meet that eye. It'll drain your soul, it'll make you cry. Keep your head low, keep your gaze away, or the evil eye will